do is, these ain't the right screws, but I can't keep buying things, okay. It'll do. And see, the mending plates will keep it from sliding off when I first put this up here. It keeps it vertical. Now we're gonna just screw along the way here. And of course we always pre-drill because we only pre-drill in the first piece, of course. Naturally we don't drill into the one where we're going into.
Got the sun right in the lens here.
Alright, well you can stop recording right now. Alright, we got about 6 screws in here so far. Alright, and that's good and solid now. So that when we put the angle in here, you know, to get the angle rather, I should say, for the beams, it'll be secure. Now this one here, we're going to temporarily screw this in. So it'll be rigid because right now it's not square. And we got to bring this end over here. We got to make sure that the thing is out a little bit more so that it will, when we get our angles, it'll be correct. At the very end there's a space there. There's nothing I can do. I hammered this in, but she had loosened up. She had pulled away because this thing was hanging when I carried this over. Tommy and I carried it over, and it got bent out. So it's the best I can do. There's no way I can bang that back in. But what we're going to do here, we're going to put a fascia board on top of that. You know, anyways, after the roof is on, we'll put a fascia board on it, and it'll just cover that up. It'll go right across here. I'm no professional, so don't follow everything I do. Because I do things to make it work for me. May not work for you though. Okay, what I'm starting to do here is the planing of the angle on the top of this header here to match the angle that's coming off the rafters here. I've done this part so far. I got to work down there, as otherwise the plywood will sit like this and it won't seat properly on the rest of the joist. So we're going to continue with the power planing now. Well, excuse the sawdust mess here, but here's my objective. See how the slope is? Unlike that roof that I built on the dumpster back there for the garbage cans last year, this one here we're doing a little bit better job on. So we got the proper slope on the 2x6 here, all the way down to the other one. I still don't want to quite go in there, but you know, if you take too much off, then the damn thing is flopping around and won't sit right. So we can't put the joist hanger in there until we know where this is going to sit. And I don't want to put it up here if it's going to be needed to be put here. So we got to get this thing to fit snug, then we know where to put these joist hangers. And because it's got a little angle, it's going to sit at this point here on the joist hanger, okay, but that's still going to support it. Over here I put a temporary block in just to keep this from sliding down. This is just a block I can move around so I can get this to be flush with the top. And as you can see, after I plane this with my power planer, the angle is perfect, comes right out, so when the 1/2-inch plywood goes on, it'll just sit tight to this and to this. Well, the joist hanger's in, as you can see. I gotta put the nails in there. Yeah, she's nice and even with the top. I don't know if you can see that because I can't see my viewfinder from here. And just the same way all the way through. And when I get over to here, when I get up on the ladder, I'll drill through here. We won't use joist hangers on this end. We're just gonna fasten them. The reason I had to use joist hangers here is because I was gonna make this whole thing in one piece and lift it up. I physically can't do that. So because I can't nail on the back side or screw on the back side to go into the joist, this is the way we have to do it. On these, I did use number 16 nails, 3 of them, on the back side of this, and then carried this whole thing over here with Tommy's help. But physically I couldn't do anything else, and if you look at the very end, it got pulled out a little bit and I couldn't get it in any more than that. You look at the very end down here. At the very end there's a space there. There's nothing I can do. I hammered this in, but she had loosened up. She had pulled away because this thing was hanging when I carried this over. Tommy and I carried it over and it got bent out. So it's the best I can do. There's no way I can bang that back in. But what we're going to do here, we're going to put a fascia board on top of that. You know, anyways, after the roof is on, we'll put a fascia board on it and it'll just cover that up. It'll go right across here. I'm no professional, so don't follow everything I do. Because I do things to make it work for me. May not work for you though. Done here. I had to nail these last two because the square bit rounded off. You can't beat nails, I'm telling you. It's so much easier to work with. I have more trouble with bits rounding off, screws stripping out, and everything else. So we got it in there. Just wanted to get the screws in there. Well, we got most of them screwed in, but the rest of them were nailed in. Nail over in the end here. Get one on this other side here.
Still going.
What I'm doing now is using this stick as a measure so I can see if my plywood is going to be trimmed off properly. I think probably the best thing to do would be to put this plywood up and then trim the edge. So, one section to put up. At a time here. All right. We'll start nailing in this point here, and then we'll. It's not easy getting this up here. We had to jury rig it. It's not on video, but we had to take and lift the plywood and set it up here, hold it in place with a couple of clamps, and then I got up on deck and lifted it and had Tommy help me, and then hold it up onto the roof here. And what we're going to do is at the end we'll cut this, trim it off here. We'll trim this off, let it overhang about 4 inches and cut it. So right now we're going to just nail in a couple of places to stabilize it, and then I'm going to climb up on there and I'm going to draw the lines and measure where I got to put the nails. So we'll put a couple more nails further up here on this joist where they go meeting. Alright. Very good. Alright, now we'll move the ladder and we'll put some more down at that end, so then I'll be able to walk on this. We got the plywood up, but it's got to be nailed. It's only got a few nails in it, keeping it in place. So temporarily I'm going to have to go up there and do a little bit of nailing. Good and solid. Okay. Now I got to try to get my skinny ass up here. I hate these twist nails, decking nails, they bend so damn easy. Before I can do much more, I'm going to have to measure where the joists are. And go from there. And I think what I'm going to do is take a measurement and cut this off first. Then I can put my ladder up against there. And after I mark them, then I can nail the rest of this down. So That's what we're going to do. All right, did quite a bit, but it wasn't on video. We added the drip edge, as you can probably see if I hold it up here. Did it on all three sides. We added a little bit here with an overhang. We added a 2x6 and a 1x4, and add some plywood to make a little bit of an overhang, a little more than what it was originally. Tomorrow I hope to put the rolled roofing on, so these are clamps for my ladder to keep it from sliding around. And we'll add the rolled roofing to the top of the building. Over here I put a nailer in here so that when I put the plywood up, the plywood will go onto here and it'll nail on the inside of here, and it'll come up to the up to this point here. Same way with over here, we're going to have plywood coming down, nailed here and then nailed here, as you can see, so that this part will be closed in. In the future I may close this whole thing in, but like I say, right now we're not going to do that. All the joists are in, they came out really good. You notice we're not using any more blocks here, that was only temporary, just to hold the rafters in place. And we screwed everything except this last one here, because the square bit that I bought, it cost me $2 for the bit, rounded off. This square head decking screws worked really well up until that point. I didn't have another bit, so we just nailed it. That's another view of it. I also cut off the drip edge so it's 5 1/4 inches overhang, instead of making it 4 like I was going to do. All I gotta do is put the rolled roofing on, and that'll be it until a few weeks to get warmer, much warmer weather, then I can do the roofing itself. But the rolled roofing, I keep calling it rolled roofing. It isn't rolled roofing, it's 15-pound felt, but it's tar paper, in other words. Probably wondering why this light is upside down. It's upside down because I had to turn it around, because it wouldn't, this part here would hit up here. This light's going to be replaced anyways, but I needed a light out here, and then when we got the new light, and we'll put it in. I just wanted to make sure all this construction was done first before putting the new light in. Well, thank you very much. That's the end of part 3. Part 4 will be coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you.